After everything that went wrong last summer, I felt this trip might be my last chance to make my family fall in love again with sailing. Now, as our summer adventure slowly comes to an end, we have a big decision to make about the future of the boat. So join us for one final journey through the incredible South Brittany and stay with us to discover what happens next with Candide.
So one aspect of sailing is that we also need to refuel occasionally. So we've just moored up here next to the fueling station, and
We always try not to mix up diesel and petrol.
Yeah, and we'll try not to do my very beginner's mistake, which was when we first started sailing in Sweden. There's a little thing here, and I didn't close this well enough, and then I washed down here and all the water got into the fuel. And that was a very expensive mistake, wasn't it, Philip?
Are we too far for the...
Well, hopefully not. No, it's got a line.
Where is it?
Oh, you're dripping. It's there.
So if you wonder how much diesel a boat needs, it depends how much watering you do, but in reality very little. The whole summer we will probably spend about 200 euros on diesel.
Not ready yet. Stop, Philip. Yeah.
Yeah, it stopped. I stopped. Push more, and then you need to step up. The front, yeah.
We're good.
Yeah? You do push it. And now go, jump on.
So we are just leaving Trinité-sur-Mer, and we managed to get everything done in time. And now we are heading to Ile-de-Moine, which is how many hours sail, Philip?
3 hours.
A 3-hour sail.
It feels so nice to get out again, because after 2 days in the harbour we had so much fun with all the activities. But there's always this itch that tells you to go out on the sea, and especially we have wind, so we can put the sails up, and we haven't been sailing for a while, so amazing.
We are coming out from this harbour, and then we're going in here into this. This is the Golfe du Morbihan.
Yeah, so here's Trinité-sur-Mer with all the boats, and then we go all the way down. And here is a tricky passage because there's enormous currents there.
And as you see, lots of little islands.
And lots of boats. So, and then we hope we can find an anchor buoy here, or go on anchor here. And here all the locals kids, you see they go sailing out in any weather, and especially if it's nice like today. Look, there's like hundreds of kids learning water sports and then becoming probably French champions in sailing later. Go down a bit, We are not happy the telltales, so we need to trim the sail. To be both of these lines be horizontal. The red one and the green one, they tell us if the sail is nicely trimmed. Now the sail needs to be more trimmed in. It has too much belly. So we just spotted a race boat, Petit Doudou, which is also moored in Trinité. And we checked on AIS. It was doing 10 knots with less than 10 knots of wind. So this boat is just about going faster than the wind, which is amazing. And of course there's another race going on today. Today's opponent is here. I don't know what it is or who it is, but he's quite fast. But I think we're faster. And we're trying to race for about half an hour. And there are 4 guys, and I can totally see how they try to trim the sails, and so they're fully in. But I think we're pointing a bit higher into the wind, which is an advantage, so we can go a better direction than them. So even if they are as fast as we are, we're heading in a better direction, we might win again. And in the meanwhile, I am racing outside. Anna, what are you doing?
I'm working.
You're working?
Yeah.
But we have more important things to do. We have to race. I would need you on the helm. I'm quite impressed that you're working under these conditions.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Especially as we are in a race, and I would definitely benefit from a crew, but hey. Look, we're catching up now. I see much more of his side. That means That's good news. So I'm afraid he's going somewhere else. So either he abandoned, or he never was in a race and everything happened in my head. But it doesn't matter, I'm happy. I was happy to win. I definitely won, even if he wasn't in a race. Now we are approaching the entrance to the Golfe des Morbihan, and it's a tricky entrance because there's a lot of current, a lot of boats going in and out, and we need to navigate this. So I think we need to take the foresail down, just the mainsail, and we need the engine in case we need to do some crazy maneuvering. I'm looking forward to this, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a very small entrance to a very big area, so all the water that comes in and out with the tides has to squeeze through this entrance, and it has currents up to 8 knots. Which is more than our boat can do actually with an engine. But it shouldn't be the case today. A couple of knots though. How do you feel about going through the entrance of the Golfe des Morbihan?
Excited.
Are you not worried?
No, because you're in charge. You're the captain.
That's you just say that for the camera.
No, I trust you.
Ah.
It's a little bit disconcerting though that there are so many boats coming out and we are going in, so...
We're in the middle of the Golfe des Morbihan now, and I understand why people told us to come here, even though it's a bit tricky to get in with the currents and all the boats going in and out. But look at this. It's a very special landscape. It reminds me a little bit of the Stockholm archipelago. You also have to navigate around rocks and all sorts of things, but so far we're doing well. And I hope we find a buoy for us to stay overnight somewhere up here. And if you're lucky, our friends will come and join us for a sundowner.
Yeah, you were just saying that it feels like the archipelago that we sailed around in Sweden, but there's a lot of current here. So it's almost like a really lovely lake with no waves except for the current. And all around there's these beautiful, cute little white houses with slate roofs. So really cute little harbour towns, but we can't go and visit all of them because, yeah, our boat has a keel which is too deep, so we'll just have to admire from afar. But I'm excited to go and discover Ile de Moine. I think it's going to be really pretty. So my job is going to be trying to pick up one of the mooring balls, and this is always, I'm always a little anxious. We're now going to anchor, but we've got to get a little further out so that we don't swing into any of the other boats. But it is absolutely beautiful here. So pretty. Can't wait to explore. Well done.
Good catch. The thing is with these drones, you can catch them, but they go away if they see a hand. So you need to be quicker than their sensors. And then you turn it around to stop it spinning. Now when you sail, then you have to go aside with the right speed. And then you need to I need both hands on the controls, and then I need to quickly release and grab it. So it's not easy. But if you grab into the blades, then you just cut your fingers very badly. So it's not without danger. Today's program, a bike ride on the Ile aux Moines. Anna, you ready? Oh. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Kids are ready, let's go. this is a message from the future, or is it from the past? Well, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you listen to me, because I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is your webpage is outdated. Honestly, when was the last time you checked on it? The good news, however, is that this is a problem easy to fix thanks to Squarespace, an all-in-one platform to create an outstanding web presence, which also happens to be this week's ad. Squarespace uses a powerful AI to help you creating a website that matches your style and needs, but it can also help you to come up with a complete new design if you feel the need to refresh your online presence. Whether this is for a personal project, a big web shop for your e-commerce business, or an easy-to-operate page to schedule appointments for your clients. And if you want to accept payments through your page, no problem. Squarespace covers this with an integrated payment tool, so you don't have to integrate a third-party tool to be able to accept all major payment systems and providers. I also highly suggest to browse the vast library of templates, which you can also use as a starting point. They are really inspiring. So if you want to be sure that people who come across your page really enjoy it, head over to squarespace.com/howtorenovate for a free trial. And if you're ready to launch, use offer code HowToRenovateChateau to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
The next day we met up with friends who have the same boat as us, just in blue, probably the only other Arcona 400 in France. They know the area incredibly well and guided us to an anchorage right in the middle of an oyster farm. I would never have dared venture in there on my own, but it turned out to be an incredibly sheltered spot, and we enjoyed one of the calmest nights in the entire summer.
So we have a bit of urgent start because we just decided to leave the Gulf, and we need to leave it now because otherwise the water is incoming. And we are also in shallow water, so we need to navigate, set sail, and find the entrance as fast as possible.
So it has been absolutely beautiful exploring the Golfe de Morbihan. We met some friends here yesterday and had a lovely dinner. But yeah, this morning they got up, we heard them lifting their anchor. It was about 8:30. We still hadn't actually had breakfast or a coffee. And then we chatted to them quickly. They were next to us in the anchorage, and they told us we need to leave now, otherwise we can't leave until 2 p.m. So yeah, we took a very quick decision to leave, and we're going to have breakfast on the go.
We had a beautiful 1.5-hour sail towards an island we know very well by now, Ile de Wat. This time we decided to try a new anchorage on the western side of the island. Our friends with the speedboat joined us, and together we discovered one of the most beautiful little coves you could ever imagine. Unfortunately, all our camera batteries had died, so we only have a few images from our friend's drone to show you just how surreal this place was. With its clear turquoise water and deserted beach, it hardly looked like France at all.
All good things come to an end. And what we have to do when we stop sailing, taking the flag off. It's kind of sad. So our summer holiday is over now.
I know, I can't believe it. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
We've had such an amazing time. It has been the best summer sailing.
And somehow this trip was also all about deciding whether it does make sense for us as a family of having a boat in Cherbourg. And the conclusion is?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense for us.
No.
It's just not the right place to be with a boat. It's not a place where we can do good family sails, Cherbourg.
We made a big decision.
And it was a hard decision especially for me, because I liked the idea of having the boat in Cherbourg, and I like to be able to go there in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we asked here in Trinité-sur-Mer whether we could keep the boat. And they said there is a 20-year waitlist if you want a boat here.
Which I'm not surprised, because it's the best area to sail, so.
However, there's one possibility, they said. If we can accept to have the boat on the Hart.
Which means out of the water.
Out of the water. And then whenever we want to sail, they put it in. Then they have a space for us. And they have a system where they take out the boat with a crane whenever you don't sail. And when you sail, you call them up. And in a couple of days, they put it in the water, you come and you can sail. And price-wise, it's basically not more expensive than Cherbourg. And so we decided, wow, that's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we decided we do not sail back to Chateau this year, but we keep it here.
Yeah.
We told them we signed a contract already, and now we're leaving, and probably in 2 days they take it out, they take it on their heart, and whenever we come back, we call them up, they put it in the water, and it's here and ready to go.
It's really exciting.
Okay guys, see you back at the chateau.
Hello! My phone fell down. Philip, are you happy to be back?
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see my mom. I'm happy to see Ziggy. But I'm also a little, it was really, really, really nice. And look here, despite the drought, flowers are doing well.
These are the echinacea.
Yeah, I mean, so beautiful. They look a little dry it was super dry.
So we are back at the chateau, and it feels nice to be back. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful at this time of evening to come in, and it's beautifully lit up. The garden looks amazing, even though it's been super
Thanks to my
dry.
mom, who did an amazing job. They watered a lot, but I think my mom did a huge amount of work here.
There's been a change in the playroom.
What's going on? What's happened?
Loads of stuff.
Yeah?
And Oma did it by herself.
No way. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So organised. Oh, she put up you even put up a light.
Philipp, du musst weiter. Ich habe nicht weiter raufgegangen.
Oh, that is
I didn't reach.
fantastic.
Yeah.
How clever.
Yeah,
That is
because
such a good idea.
I found
The pole.
Yeah, you can press it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing,
New
Hildegard.
furniture. New
Oh,
furniture.
look at that, girls.
Cool things.
Organised.
thing.
Oh, that's wonderful, Hildegard.
Ja, da sitzt man
Du
so.
bist die Beste.
Oh.
Da ist
That you did it by yourself.
By myself, yeah.
Wow, look, my mom
That's
bought
why I
these
wish
things.
she would be my parents.
Well, she's kind of is your grandparent, so
Ich bin dein Kind und nicht der Opfer.
I'm very proud of my mom that she was able to build that by herself. It's really, really cool. With this extremely hot weather, all the grass has turned brown, but it doesn't mean that we don't need to cut it. It still grows, but it's also the perfect moment to try something completely new, because if you follow this channel, you might know, you might remember that I introduced a lawnmower robot recently, and I'm so happy with it that I thought it would be amazing if I could extend the lawnmower robot area to the back of the chateau. Now this is much more area than in the front of the chateau. So I did my research and I asked my friends what they are using. And there is one brand that always was mentioned, and that's Mamotion. And they send us not one, but 3 robots to cover the whole back garden. So for full transparency again, we didn't pay for these lawnmowers. They send them free of charge in exchange for an ad on this channel for the lawnmowers. But if they wouldn't have sent them us for free, I would have bought the exact same machine, but I wouldn't have mentioned them on the channel. The robots they sent is the Luba 3 AWD, and they are made for 3,000 to 5,000 square meter gardens. It doesn't need any wire to be installed like in olden days, but it doesn't even need a RTK antenna. So it should be really plug and play because it has 4G and Wi-Fi connectivity. But we have a small issue here at the Chateau. Our 4G reception is really bad. So we have a really hard time to get calls. And that's why I want to be sure that there is enough Wi-Fi covering the whole garden area. And that's why I'm going to start by installing a outdoor Wi-Fi antenna. I'm in the attic to install all of this, but it's all very temporary because we will soon get fiber optics. I just need to dig a trench from the entrance of the chateau to the chateau, and because of the hotel project we will have many trenches to dig, and I want to do that in an orderly fashion. And so for now we still rely on Starlink, which is not a problem, but it will be much faster and much better in the future. So this switch will provide power over Ethernet to the Wi-Fi outdoor antenna. So there's only one cable going from the Starlink into the switch, and from the switch to the house, and also to the other Wi-Fi antenna that will be outdoors. Instructions, I need to read instructions. If you see me falling down, it was nice meeting you guys, because here I am very high up. Okay, now we have the not so pretty Starlink antenna with this outside Wi-Fi antenna, but we will find a better space on the roof in the future, somewhere hidden up there. We want Wi-Fi outside, and even for the hotel guests would expect to have connectivity in the garden if they don't have 4G. I successfully installed the outer antenna and I have a Wi-Fi network now. So it's time to unleash the beast. The animal is not included in the kit. Now starts the mapping process. With my app, I can either let him discover it by itself automatically, or I help him by guiding it around like a remote control car, which I do because it's fun. And also I think it might be a bit more precise and I can exactly tell him which area I want him to explore. So it took me about half an hour to map out all the areas where I want this machine to mow. It's 3,290 square meters, so a lot of space left for me to extend the area in the future, which is good news because I'm sure now that with 3 machines, I will cover almost all my lawn, and that's fabulous. That's fabulous news. Let's go and see what it's doing. I don't know if you can hear it. There's almost no noise. It is a very quiet machine, I must say. That's ideal for us because we want to run it when we have guests, so this is perfect. The only noise we can hear really are the leaves that it's crashing. This is quite steep here. You can see it climbs easily. It has an 80% climbing ability because it's a 4x4. That's another huge advantage of this robot.
Honestly, I'm very impressed. It hasn't stopped once and it just kind of works its way around the obstacles. It doesn't get confused and it's really quiet as well.
Absolutely quiet.
Yeah, I like it.
I could film this now for hours because I find it fascinating how the robot finds its way through the garden. But I know it doesn't make good YouTube. So, but what I will do now is to wait, let him work a day or 2 or 3. And at the end of the week, I'm gonna tell you how it performed and let's see if we can see a difference. So Anna, it was 4 days now that it's working, right?
Yeah, and it's already looking so good. You obviously can see there's still a few lines where the old tractor, the sit-on lawnmower, has made quite a few marks over the time that we've used it here.
Well, it
It's
doesn't
so
cut
uneven.
evenly, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
it
that's
always,
the problem because the ground is so uneven.
and
It's
the big
really
blades
hard.
from the sit-on lawnmower, they just make these uneven and rather ugly lines everywhere.
Yeah, but already you can at least see that it's really uniform, like the level of the grass, it looks super clean. And hopefully with a bit of rain, maybe in the next weeks or so, hopefully everything's going to start growing back and we won't see those marks anymore. We could never get something that is so perfectly clean and uniform with our sit-on lawnmower, with the ground that we have here. It's just impossible. So yeah, really, really excited, really happy with how they work and yeah, feeling confident because we are about to take a week off and we are going to be heading to the mountains to Philipps region in South Tyrol. It's absolutely beautiful there and we are going to take you with us for 1 week, but we're going to give ourselves 1 week off to spend time with our family, take a week off from filming and editing. We're going to see how the lawnmower gets on when we come back, but I'm feeling confident that when we come back it's going to be looking amazing. So have a great week and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.